Let's sit down and discuss both the worst case and best case scenario possibilities here for the Bitcoin price. If Bitcoin is in fact going to continue crashing, what may we expect in terms of downside targets? And if Bitcoin is actually forming a bottom, what could we potentially expect to the upside? That's what I'd like to discuss here today. So as a full-time trader, I'd like to discuss with you my strategy, my game plan, and how I plan to crush this market right now in the immediate term. So without any further ado, you guys already know the deal. If you like these daily crypto videos and nightly live streams, smack that thumbs up button, click the subscribe, tick the little bell. And let's get this crypto. Moon the likes, ladies and gentlemen. Moon them up. All right. So we'll begin with our Bitcoin technical analysis. And of course, before we begin, this is not investment advice. This is not trading advice. These are only my own opinions, ideas, and speculative hypotheses on the market. Always do your own research and your own due diligence before investing or trading, as this market is extremely high risk, and I am not your financial advisor. I will never tell you what to do with your trades or investments. That being said, let's begin right here on the weekly time frame for Bitcoin. Now you guys can see I clearly have this range defined by a red resistance box along the top and a green potential support box along the bottom. Now, if you are subscribed here, and if you're not, you need to subscribe right now. I've been covering this action here on a daily basis. The market is heating up. It's in your best interest to subscribe and tick the little bell to get my notifications when I upload in real time. Now, you would know that I am under the belief here that we are going to see some ping pong action sideways within this range for a little while. But sideways here, that is a very loose term because, my friends, this range is absolutely gigantic. I mean, from bottom to top there, it's roughly in 122% range. And to be quite honest with you, I think there's validity for this to chop around in here before we get our next large macro move. And by macro move, I mean that this is either going to turn into a real bull market or this is going to actually be confirmed as one of the most bearish downtrending markets we've ever seen in Bitcoin history. So now let's dive in, okay? So now that you understand my range here with the ping pong, we have to start understanding the possibilities of what may happen when Bitcoin breaks out of this little equilibrium range that we're stuck in right now. So after these huge moves, I mean, this was a cascading waterfall, and generally after you see a move of this magnitude, you do generally get some sideways action. Now, a move like this, if we want to compare, reminds me of something like what we saw up here, right, after our blow off top around 14,000. And I mean, if we invert the chart just to give your eyes, you know, a little bit of a better perspective. I mean, if this was the capitulation, right, you see this huge leg down and then you get a bunch of chop before the next major move, right? And that's what reminds me of this move that we're looking at right here, right now. So to me, we're just, we're waiting for the chop to finish, right? We have a ton of indecision inside this range right now. And the focus needs to become, if we break up, where could we potentially go to? And if we break down, where could we potentially go to? Because one or the other is likely going to happen rather soon, right? So for this, let's use our Fibonacci extension targets, okay? Now we're going to pull from the top there to the bottom here. And I want you guys to keep in mind here that we have the 0.618 and the 0.5, which is the honey hole of Don Carbonaccio. That is what I like to focus on, that specific area in terms of potential target zones, looking for a bounce back in price action. And amidst a bear market, generally for me, this is what I'm looking for in terms of a rally to then fail at this region and continue the downtrend. Very similar to what we've seen time and time again all throughout this region. And in fact, my friends, if you do notice that the blow off top from 20,000, right? Let's go all the way out here. The blow off top from 20,000, right? All the way down to the bottom did wind up seeing its top come in around the 0.618 golden, right? You see that. So even the largest of trends were respecting this. And then, my friends, as well here, I believe that this next range here fell within the golden honey hole as well. Let's take that. I just want you guys to see the validity of what I'm saying, right? So then we look at this Boom, right there, my friends. You see it right in the middle of the 0.5 and the 0.618, that next large swing, right? This one here and this one here, double topped within there, right? So for me now, pulling up that fib from this move, this prior high down, all the way to the bottom, we have that honey hole right there in the red box between 63.88 and 71.76. And if we actually move this down just to this peak here, I mean, I like this one better, ladies and gentlemen, from the top of the move, but if you want to look at it from a different perspective, I think that's valid as well. And it does also keep that honey hole right in the middle here, right in the middle here. So for me, it's really this red box is basically as far as I can look to the upside. That's really anywhere between 5,800 all the way up to about 7,000. In terms of the upside target, I mean, that looks like a best case scenario for me right now, that Bitcoin would get up into this range. And if the bear market is going to continue, which I personally think is likely at this point in time, just because of the nature of the traditional markets right now, the financial situation, the health and safety situation, I'm finding it very hard, especially with the potential for a recession, a global recession looming. I do find it hard to believe that Bitcoin is just going to go to the moon and rip into a full-blown bull market. I mean, that's just my own opinion. So speculating upon a potential reversal in terms of the bull trend, keep it in mind that if we bounce up towards 6,000 to 7,000, that is where I will be looking for a potential rejection. I will be looking for trading opportunity upon that bounce as well. Whether I go long to the upside or I choose to short it, I will keep you personally updated exclusively in VIP. If you want to see all of my trade setup ideas, entries, exits, targets, take profit zones, etc., I will be posting it exclusively for you in VIP. I'll see you in VIP right now after this video. Let's get this crypto. So now, that's really the realistic bullish take I have. But if we want to talk absolute best case, you would want to see this get above the 0.618 here, get above this red box, consolidate, and then really start to look to potentially create a new higher high in terms of a macro trend to get above 10,000. But for me, my friends, I think it's going to be very difficult. If that does potentially occur, well, my analysis will change at that time with a consolidation above 7,500, and then I will take my analysis from there. Let's get this crypto. Now, let's talk about the potential of a further crash to the downside. Right now, we are seeing that, especially here on the daily, we still are oversold, so there is validity for a bounce. That is why I discussed the potential bullishness first. We do see that the RSI is oversold. We have reached extreme levels of negative momentum on the MACD histogram. You know, ladies and gentlemen, these indicators don't mean that there has to be a bounce, but there could, right? I mean, you see, we still just are barely climbing out of oversold on the 4-hour. The weekly is still flirting with going into oversold right now. It does not have to, but we have seen in the past that Bitcoin does have a tendency to at least tap into that black area right there, which is below a 30, and that is on the weekly RSI. Of course, past performance does not indicate future results, but if history is to at least look similar, maybe there is some downside room to go, but we are certainly low enough, and I don't want to rule a bounce out of the cards. That is why I discussed the potential bullish zones first. So now, let's discuss this structure here again, okay? And this is the consolidation here, the equilibrium. For me, ladies and gentlemen, these types of things generally are just a bearish consolidation. I mean, usually they go with the trend, pretty much just like this one here on the way up that turned into a bull flag, right? We had a huge move up and then a bunch of stagnating chop going nowhere, just sideways, and then it led to a continuation of the current trend, which then was to the upside. For me, this looks very similar, and I don't want to rule out the possibility of a sideways chop here and then continued downside action. If that is in fact to occur, I am under the impression here that this green box falling between roughly 4,000 and 3,000 should see some potential bullish support. Now it doesn't have to, right? I would have thought that at this region here, between 7,000 and 6,000, we would have seen some support again, but we didn't, ladies and gentlemen. It got ripped through, sliced through like a hot knife through butter, and we've tested down into this lower range. So now let's pull up our Fibonacci extensions of the move again. Now, my friends, keep this in mind here, okay? What I want to show you right now is that if Bitcoin, let's pull this move up here, okay? Keep in mind, this is this move here to this move at the top. We would be looking for the extension targets of this move, okay? Where the downside targets for this last high, this last peak, the double top peak before the rejection and the plunge. This is the move we're identifying here, okay? Thumbs up right now on this video. It helps the algorithm. Leave a comment as well. It helps the algorithm. Subscribe and tick the little bell, because this is where it gets serious, all right? We pull it up, my friends. This is a very interesting metric we have to take into consideration here, is that the 1.618 extension was essentially met, my friends. That's where we got to, right? And that is where the action right now is actually wicking down to and bouncing off. It's crazy how these Fibonacci's actually extend the trend, but my friends, we tapped that beautifully. And this, I just wanted to show you that to preface what I'm about to show you now, because what we have to understand here is that if we actually take the Fibonacci of this entire move here, right? Let's go from the bottom here of about 3,000 all the way to the top at 14,000, right? We're looking at the retracement of this entire move. And surely we've already broke through all the critical regions, right? Except for our 1.618. You can barely even see it there because it's directly drawn with my trend line here, that if we switch it on to the line chart, my friends, on the weekly time frame, excuse me, let's get to the daily time frame. Well, I have the wrong chart. The line chart, that's what I'm looking for. You could see, my friends, that I have this potential support zone here where we have the prior peak of our old bull market and then a consolidation on the way up, and it is perfectly in line with our 1.618 Fibonacci retracement extension of this macro move. And I just showed you that just, on our last move down, Bitcoin actually got to the 1.618 Fibonacci retracement extension right here. So if we're going to see something similar, except this time taking into account the entire macro move, just instead of this move right here, right? We're now looking at this whole move instead of just this move here. Is it possible that Bitcoin gets to that 1.618? It's in a weird confluence zone, don't you think, ladies and gentlemen? It is in a very weird zone indeed. And for me, if Bitcoin is to lose the support here around 3,000, I don't see much in terms of support in this range anyway. Mix it into the pot with the fact that right here we have the old prior bull market top and this consolidation here and the 1.618 extension right there on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, for me, for Don Carbonaccio, this would in fact become a realistic target projection for me. Of course, it doesn't have to occur, but if it is, in fact, to occur, I mean, it's that level. This fib is at 1,254 here on my chart, and that is a level that I'm going to pay very close attention to if 3,000 is lost. But as I've stated, right now, my friends, I think that we really just have to understand that I am expecting a lot of potential ping pong within this range. The swings may be large. They may be heinous. If this breaks to the downside, you best believe I'm going to be looking for potentially life-changing trading opportunity to the downside, as well as if this is to break to the upside, I will be looking for potential longs as well, maybe shorts in this region as well. As I've already stated, I'll keep you updated in VIP with every single trade setup idea that I formulate, every entry, every exit, every target. My friends, today is the day. It's time to transform yourself from average Joe into savage Joe. Let's get this crypto. And right now, I believe that this is the calm before the storm. You see it. we're coiling up here, potentially awaiting a massive move, just like we've seen in the past. When we get these consolidations, my friends, they can lead to absolutely explosive moves in one direction or the other, right? This is just clear as day to me that we are awaiting a blasphemous rip to the upside or a heinous fall to the downside. If you fail to plan, then your plan is to fail. Don Carbonaccio does not fail to plan. Don Carbonaccio plans to succeed. So as these moon boy degenerates keep on preaching, the fiat system's gonna collapse. Don't you understand, Kirby? The banks are gonna run. This is the best thing, the currency of all time. Oh! Let them go crazy. Let their heads spin around in circles, not understanding why this trend dropped 50% overnight when it was supposed to be a store of value, hard money, all of it. The Don is here looking for trading opportunity, not some pipe dream, hopium, praying to the moon lords that Bitcoin will one day go to $1 million a coin. Sheesh! That's not what this channel is about. So if you want realistic trading analysis, day in and day out, subscribe to this channel, tick the little bell, select all, because if you select all, you will get updated when I upload these videos daily in real time. And these analyses here are best consumed in the fastest way possible. So getting that notification is definitely critical, and that goes for you guys as well that are already subscribed. If you're already subscribed and you've ticked the bell, press the bell again right now and make sure you have all selected, because sometimes I know that many of you say you don't get the notification, and that is why. So make sure that all is selected. Now, my friends, again, I'm going to ask you here for the algorithm. It really helps if you could smack a thumbs up on this video here and also leave a comment. Thank you, Kirby. No, thank you, Kirby. Anything you want. Just leave a comment. It really does help the channel. I so appreciate you. I hope you appreciate me. My friends, I'm going to be looking right now for this potentially life-changing opportunity in this ping pong range. And as I've already stated, if you're not already in my VIP, well, I will be posting all of my trade setup ideas exclusively for you there. All my entries, exits, targets, insights, take profit zones, etc. If you're not already in my VIP, I will see you in VIP right now after this video. Let's get this crypto. And until next time, my friends, the Don has spoken. I'll see you in VIP right now after this video. Let's get this crypto. Be safe, be happy, be healthy. It's your boy, Crypto Kirby. Peace and love, my friends. Curbs.